What really frustrates me is that when I talk to people in groups, individuals, I always ask them this question. On a national basis throughout the entire United States, how many veterans commit suicide? And the average answer back to me is 10. That's the average answer back to me is 10. And I say to them, do you know, I'm going to tell you the true answer. The true answer is really 680 a month that commit suicide. That's going down now because there's 22 a day and it's dropping down now. 680, but do you know what's really wrong with that from all the research that I've done? I understand that only 24 states report, 26 don't. So if that's the truth, there's about 1,400 a month that are committing suicide throughout the entire United States. Why is it that everybody thinks it's 10? That's what really frustrates me. And they don't understand and see that PTSD is what drives these guys to alcohol, drives them to beating their wives, and a number of things like that. I skate for the Minnesota Warriors Ice Hockey, which is wounded or disabled combat veterans, or veterans. And we started out 5 years ago with 5 soldiers, or I should say skaters, and now in 5 years we're up to 150 skaters, and 9 of them are women. What we're trying to do is draw these guys out of the house, get off the alcohol and everything to help these guys so that they don't commit suicide, because the rate just keeps getting crazy for a lot of us. And that's one of the things that I really want to bring out to people, is that the suicide rate is crazy and you think that it's 10. I was a scout dog handler, which is walk point for the infantry with a German Shepherd dog. And one of my saddest days was when I called an alert and stopped the patrol. I'm the one in front, stopped the patrol, called an alert, said there's an ambush out there about 200 meters out on the left. And the CO came up and he said, what? I said, there's an ambush that's out there. And he said, you're freaking nuts, there's nothing that's out there. There's nothing in the area. I said, I'm telling you that there's an ambush there. That's my job. That's what I do professionally. And he looked at me and he said, well, I'm telling you that there's nothing out there and you're just this young guy. I was 19 years old. You're this young guy out here. He said, you know what, get back up and point and go. I said, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. My dog is right. There's an ambush that's out there. She says, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull a cluster, F is the word, and we're going to send, so he calls 5 guys and he says, I want you to go out and check that. I said, don't do it. I said, pull back, and I said, bring in gunships, bring in Cobra, spray the area. I said, then have these guys go out. And they said, stand down. I'm the guy that's running this. I'm the CO here. I'm running this. So he was going to send those 5 out. I called the 5 over, and I said to them, my dog is right. There's an ambush that's out there. Why it became sad, a couple of reasons. One is because I saw the fear in their face. When you see the fear in someone's face, that it looks like they pretty well believe it's a possibility that they're going to die and where they're going to. That's frightening alone, just to see that fear in their face and you can't save them. I said to them, they're on the left, 200 meters out, and what you got to do is keep your guns off the safe, spread out, and be prepared. No, I'm not a SEAL that went to West Point or anything, but I know what I'm doing here. He sent them out, and all 5 were killed. After that happened, I went up to the CO, and I said to the CO, why the hell do you have me out here? Why do you have me out here as your dog team if you're not going to listen to me? Because if you don't listen to me, that is what happens over and over and over again. You got to listen to me. And I said, there's only one thing that I hope for you. 2 things. 1, never happens again. And number 2, maybe you should call the mothers of those 5 that you sent out there when I'd warned you not to send to her. When you get back in again, you question about saying that to him, because that's his job also. But those are things that we have to go through and live through at such a young age while we're over there. So I got stories I can talk to you about forever. I got a great one about Nixon, but I'm sure I've taken up too much time. If you want to give me 2 minutes, I'll tell you the Nixon one.
Give me an Nixon's story.
Okay. We're pulling a secret mission in Cambodia. And we're told that this is a secret mission in Cambodia. And if for any reason you get captured, that you're on your own because you weren't supposed to be here. And so I said, okay, well then don't send me because I don't want to go. He said, hey, Miron, get on the chopper and get the hell out of here. So we're in Cambodia, we're pulling ambush. Well, when you are in combat, you can get 6 letters a day and it's not enough. So I said, how do I stay close to home? Well, I stay close to home. I thought, I was a paper boy, I'll order the St. Paul paper. So I ordered the St. Paul paper. Our mail call comes in by chopper about every 10 to 12 days. Here they got about 10 or 12 papers there, rolled tight in this brown paper. Again, I'm pulling an ambush in Cambodia, and I say, which one do I grab? This one looks good. I grab it, rip it open, and headlines reads, Nixon denies that we're not in Cambodia. I pulled it up, guys, look at this, we're not here. So every time I speak at the History Theater, I speak to high schools, grade schools, or colleges, I always tell them that story because I want them to know, don't trust your government. Because when I watched that Vietnam story, I knew a little what was going on, nothing compared to what Ken Burns did there about the presidents. I was so irate and mad about them pulling back, Nixon pulling back on the peace talks, all of them concerned about what? The number one thing that came through to me is they're concerned about elections. Elections. We've got 250, 500 guys dying a week, and you're worried about getting reelected.